But as Brother Cliff would say, bam, we're on the Underground Railroad, and we've got a member of the Black Panther Party here. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Brother Jakari Shakur L., member of the Black Panther Party here. It's a national organization, and we're going to get down to it.
Well, you know, one of the things that I think people need to know is that you young people are trying to not make the mistakes, some of the mistakes that other people made. I can think about a man years ago named Geronimo Pratt, who Johnny Cochran represented, who went to the California State Penitentiary for 27 years for killing a policeman, allegedly. He was convicted of that. And 27 years later, Johnny Cochran took his case back up after he became famous and had investigators to find out that he could not have done that because he was 100 miles away. And what you all are doing is trying to fight against some of those things. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Of having people arrested, imprisoned.
Yeah. Being in this society, the way they had this thing set up, we don't have no illusions that we can completely stop them from doing what they do and railroading our people. But what our people have to be, enlightened and woken up as to what's going on. And the way that we do that is not just through literature and things of that nature, but through actual programs that the people could relate to. And once the people relate to them and see what's going on, then the state does the rest for us. Because the more the state comes down on the people, they sort of backing the people into a corner. And we know what happens when you back a cat into a corner, no matter how big the dog is. So
he's going to come out of the corner.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that the old Black Panther Party used to do is have education. I didn't say they had schooling, not fooling. There was a big difference between that. All right, as Fred Hampton used to say years ago, he said that he's listening to the beat of the people. And once you listen to the beat of the people, then you'll never go wrong. You'll always be right. I just had an opportunity to talk to me and Brother Boise, to someone who told us some things which we intend to bring to the TV about the actual murder of Fred Hampton. And when we bring it awesome, because we have someone who was involved in recording everything. And some of the things that we've been told haven't been the truth. Because there was a trap door in the bedroom, and there was a member of the Black Panther Party, according to those tapes that the guy had, that killed Fred Hampton and shot at the door so that the police would think that he was shooting out, but he was sound asleep, drugged, after eating some spaghetti. One day I'll sit down and talk to you and tell you a little more of that information.
Yeah, I need to check that. And I just wanted to make a correction. Assassination of Chairman Fred.
Well, it's assassination, killing.
Yeah.
It boils down to the same thing. He didn't voluntarily die.
Exactly.
All right. I happen to have met the man personally when I was, because I grew up on the west side in the Henry Horner Projects. So, and I was the president of an organization that was inclusive of the Black Panther Party, because it was called the Mile Square Federation, and we had all the organizations in the square mile that was a member of our organization. One of the things that I wanted to say, I was reading something here called something called the National Economic Security and Reformation Act. I think we talked a little bit about it. It was passed in 1999, and they had the Delta Force and Navy SEALs to take legislators to the House of Representatives and the Senate to vote on this act. And this act says that they would have to resign from their positions once all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled 7-2 that the Federal Reserve banking system was unconstitutional and had been committing fraud and owed the United States people, the American people, all right, in essence, reparations for committing fraud since 1933. And as I read this a little bit more, I thought about how they just brought a battalion of troops, all right, back from overseas. And I think what they're doing down along the Mexican border is a test case, like Katrina, all right, where they're going to see how they would run and operate certain things based on certain circumstances. Because that's the first time they've put troops that will actually do things in this country since the Civil War. What do you think about that?
Well, it's funny, just to recap on what you said, it's funny how around the same time the invention of the Federal Reserve happened around the same time, within the same time frame as the Social Security number system was implemented, at the same time that the gold taken away from the dollar bill as being back in the dollar bill, the same time that the New Deal was instituted. So I mean, and this is Franklin D. Roosevelt, I believe.
Who was a racist?
Oh yeah, and he served a nice, long, healthy term because they had to keep him in there for all of the plans that they had, and he was sort of like the manager of it. But as far as yeah, you know, capitalism is real desperate, and you know, when you look at, if you look at a dying animal, a dying savage animal, once they get desperate, they begin to do a lot of different things, you know, all type of stuff. So you gonna find them posturing themselves ready for some type of war, ready for the institute martial law. I was reading an article in one of my classes at school. We were talking about how the white supremacist organization's membership and the creation of, since Obama got in, whatever that's supposed to mean. But you know, we have to really start beginning to get serious about what's going on. Some of us have been serious, but I think that more and more as time goes by and certain things that happen, that's coming to a head where more and more people are starting to wake up. For whatever reason that they waking up, I can't dictate that, but the fact that they waking up is the point. And like I hear Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. say a lot, that people get down with this thing from one of three different ways: either inspiration, aspiration, or desperation. And it seems like the latter, desperation, is one of the most powerful ways that our people have gotten involved with the struggle throughout the years, including myself.
Well, you know, I always said that it's good. I'd like to see it when people start to lose everything.